Hi there everyone, welcome. Hope you can find me. Just pop on into the team page and you should be able to see me. Hi there Sharon. There's a couple of girls coming, so I might just spend a couple of minutes, but I won't wait too long because I know you don't want to be sitting here all night. How's your day been? It's the only thing with a live, you never know who's going to turn up and how quickly they're going to come. Someone else is on. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I thought it'd be fun just to do a little bit of online training, so just so you can catch up with all the different skincare ranges and just really for yourself, so you know the different skin types and a little bit about the skin, but also if you ever have a friend or family member who'd like to try some products, might just give you a little bit of an idea of what's what and how to use them. What I'd love you to do is just pop, I'm here in the comments because I'm going to keep an eye on who comes each week, and I'm going to have a prize at the end for the person who comes to all 4 classes. So that's a bit of fun, and I might even do a lucky draw at the end after tonight for coming on to say hi. So if you can just pop your name and say I'm here or something like that, that would be really great. So tonight I really want to talk about the skin types and the skin structure and how that all helps you to work out the different skin types, and a little bit about the skincare to use, and yeah, and do a little quick mini facial. Whoops, the table. So with your skin, the skin has 3 main layers. So you've got the epidermis, so that's the very top layer, so that's where all the skin cells are, and it's basically what protects and controls the water regulation and that in your skin. And then you've got the dermis, so that's the middle layer, and that's where all the collagen and elastin is. Hi Michelle. So that gives your skin its shape and its form. And then of course you've got the very bottom layer, and that supports all the other layers. So if you want to think of the collagen's a bit like the cushion on a sofa, it's all plump and puffy, and then the elastin in your skin is like the webbing in the bottom, so that stops your couch from being all saggy and falling through. So what you need to keep up with your skin as it ages loses that collagen and elastin. So what we want to do with skincare is to build it back up again so that your skin is nice and plump and it doesn't go all saggy and baggy, which often happens as your skin ages. So there's 4 main skin types. You've got your normal, oily, dry, and combination. And with your combination, it can be combination dry, or normal to dry, or normal to oily. So it just depends. So what I've done, I've actually put a little sheet together, and what I'll do is I'll pop this in the comments later on, so you can actually print it out if you want to and keep it. So and it'll go into the files on Facebook, so that it's always there if you need to get a copy. And it just has a little bit about how you work out the skin types. So your normal skin will be clear and smooth texture. The pores are normal, and it's really not oily and it's not dry. So, and a lot of people's skin is normal, but you probably find most people have a combination skin. Then you've got your dry. So dry skin will have very small pores. It'll feel tight and uncomfortable. It can sometimes be flaky, and the skin is really quite fine. And often dry skin is can be quite sensitive. Then you've got your oily skin. So that's going to be oily and shiny all over. The pores are often quite enlarged. It's prone to breakouts and blackheads. And the texture can sometimes be a bit orange peely. So especially if they're really, really oily. Then you've got your normal to oily. So that's your normal skin, but you'll find the T-zone. So that's the forehead, the nose and the chin. That can sometimes be a bit oily, particularly sometimes in summer. It's worse than in winter. And the cheeks are usually quite not comfortable and not oily and not dry. And then you've got your normal to dry. So that's where the skin can mostly be normal, feel normal, but at times it can be really dry, particularly the cheeks. And it can tend to get a bit of redness and that on it. So that's your 4 main skin types. And the great thing about knowing your skin type is that helps you choose the right skincare for you. And I've actually done a little sheet too, so I'm happy to send that to you too. This is just if you were working with somebody and they weren't sure what skincare to use, I've got a little sheet that just helps you with sort of a couple of questions to help you work out what their skin type is so that you can recommend the right skincare for them. And of course, in your beauty catalogue, if you go to page 13, there's a whole lot of stuff about the skin and the skin types and helps you with the skincare there too. So that's another source that you've got that you can have a look at. And you could, that's good, you know, if you're working, showing somebody some of the products, it's really helpful to have that. You can actually get that out and get them to have a look and see what you think suits them. So that's your different skin types. And of course, once you know the skin type, you can then work out the skincare. So if you've got someone with oily skin, they're going to feel better with a foaming cleanser. So you've got your Restore, the Irena, and the Foam Fresh cleanser, and the Clear. So they're the foamy cleansers that we have. So the Clear would be for someone who has really oily problem skin. That's going to help them and the good thing about it is it doesn't strip the skin, because sometimes when girls have really oily skin, they think they've got to scrub all the oil all away. The problem with that is your skin cells will just make more oil. So what you want to do is just take it back to a balance, not actually strip the skin. And that's the great thing about the Clear range. It won't strip the skin. It'll just help with the excess oil, but not, and then that helps with not producing too much oil. And of course, you've got a foam cleanser in your Restore. Then someone with dry skin or normal to dry, they're going to be better with a cream cleanser. And so, of course, we've got the Comfort, the White Age, and the Restore. And then your cleansing milk, the Skin Clean is a cleansing milk. So it's sort of on a between a cream and a sort of milky creamy. So it's not as thick as the others. So they're perfect for someone with dry or normal to dry skin. And if you've got oily, you can decide which one. I mean, if you've got a normal skin, you decide which one you feel like suits you better. So that's your cleansers. Of course, everyone needs to use a toner because that's going to restore the pH of the skin, and that way it's ready to take all the other steps. And then you've got your serums and your moisturizers. So again, with the moisturizer, often girls that have oily skin will say, oh, I don't need a moisturizer, my skin's oily enough. And that's when you can explain to them that there's a difference between oil and water. So even though you have oily skin, it can still be dehydrated. And when a skin's dehydrated, that's when it gets lines and wrinkles, and it's not as plump as it should be. So even though your skin is oily, you still need moisture to put water back into your skin. You just need a moisturizer that suits oily skin. And once you teach them that and show them that, and you find the right moisturizer, they'll be amazed at how brilliant their skin looks and feels. And there's in the Restore, your normal one with the SPF, it's not too heavy, it's quite light. The Clear range, obviously, if someone with really oily skin, there's the oil-free moisturizer in that one, so that's going to moisturize without adding extra oil. And the Irina moisturiser is really nice and light. The other one that's good for oily skin is in the Nutromedics range, you've got the Nutrimoist EL. So that would be fine for someone that skin's a little bit oily, and it's just going to keep it nice and moisturised and keep it plump and stop your lines and wrinkles coming. So then of course you've got, so your daily skincare would be just, 4 or 5 simple steps. So you've got your cleanser, toner, an eye serum or an eye cream, or both, depending on your age and how your eyes are looking. And then a facial serum, something like the Moisturising System or the AquaBoost Supply, and then an eye cream. So the difference between a serum and a moisturiser or a cream is that your serum absorbs directly into the skin. It's a treatment product, so it's going to do a particular, it's more of a, going to treat your skin. So with your Moisturising System and your AquaBoost Supply, they rehydrate the skin and keep the moisture into the skin. Then when you put your moisturiser on, it's going to work better and the other products will draw the moisture in. Same with your eye cream. Your moisturiser's too thick to go into the skin cells around the eyes, so they're very, very fine, the skin cells around your eyes. And you'll also find that there's no hair, and when you think about it, the oil in your skin is at the base of the hair follicle. So if there's not a lot of hair, there's not a lot of natural oil, and that's why your eyes tend to show the first signs of aging before anywhere else. So a serum and an eye serum or an eye cream are going to be much, much lighter, and they absorb into the skin straight away and they do their job. Whereas your moisturiser is not going to be able to sit on the top. So that's your daily, so 3 or 4 steps, and it really just depends on your skin, your age, how much you're into skincare, how much time you have. The last thing you want to do, especially if you're showing someone the skincare program, if they just use, heaven forbid, soap and water and slap on a moisturiser, the last thing you want to do is give them 100 different products to use. You're best sticking to 4 main steps: cleanse, tone, moisturise and eye cream. And then as they get into the habit of using those, you can maybe suggest some other products that could be added to those products, the other ones they've already got. But I'd probably, particularly in winter, it's important to use a serum that's going to help to stop the dehydration of your skin, because once it starts getting colder, you've got the cold wind like we have at the moment, and then you're often in heat with heaters and air conditioning, and that will dry your skin out and dehydrate it. And we tend not to drink as much water when it's cold, so that's the other thing you need to do, is try and remember to drink lots of water. So I would probably add a serum in, particularly in winter. So if you think about the steps, it'd be a cleanse, tone, a facial serum, an eye serum and an eye cream. They're the 5 main steps for daytime. And maybe you want to take the serum out, the eye serum out in the morning and just use it at night. That would be fine too. So, and then nighttime, same thing, cleanse, tone, a serum, and then night would use a night cream, because it's got different ingredients in it to protect the skin and help to repair it while you're sleeping. And then of course weekly, it's a good idea to use an exfoliator once or twice a week, and maybe a mask. And there's a few different masks to use. And next week what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about the skin conditions. So there's a difference between skin conditions and skin types. So I thought next week we'd go a little bit more into the different skin conditions and talk about the treatments that would help with those. But I wanted just to keep it sort of to the basic tonight. So I don't know, have you girls got your skincare with you, or do you want to have a go? Or I thought I'd just do a really quick basic skincare, basic facial, just to show you. And there's some girls that I know weren't able to pop on tonight, so this will be up on the page when it's finished, so anyone can pop on and have a look. So there might be some out there that have never done a facial, like Sharon, and I think it's Michelle that's on here. You girls are really good at your skincare, but there's some that might not be quite so confident. So I thought I'd do a really basic facial tonight. Of course, then I don't have to do it before I go to bed. So I thought I'd just use the Restore. So of course, when you've got your cleanser, you only need the smallest amount. Helps if you use the cleanser first. So again, you need about the size of a 5-cent piece. And I'm using the foaming cleanser because my skin tends to be a little bit oily. And so you just lather it up. And of course, if you're having a shower, in the shower would be the very best place to do this. Oh no, you're going to see me without makeup on. That's going to be horrid, isn't it? Then we're just going to wash that off. Now you'll see when you get my little piece of paper that I talk about double cleanse. So the whole idea of that is the first cleanse we do is going to remove the makeup and any, you know, if you've been out in the pollution and that. So that's got all that off, my beautiful white washer. So the idea of cleansing twice is the first cleanse gets all the makeup and, you know, most of the grime off from the day, and the second cleanse is just going to pick up any residue and really clean the skin because you've gotten down and you're just on the skin. It just feels amazing when you do it twice. It's a bit like when you wash your hair. Have you ever read the bottle? You're supposed to wash it twice. I don't always do that, but you're meant to wash it first, and that removes all the most of the dirt, right? And then the second cleanse actually cleans your skin or your hair. So that's your cleansing done. Just wash that off. A little bit of a pat because that's a lot of water. Now, of course, the next step is your toner. Now, it depends on which skincare range you're using. If you're using Restore or Nutrimetics or Comfort, you'll have a toner that's quite runny. So I use a little cotton pad and just shake a little bit on to both of them, pat them together, and then you're just going to gently wipe all over the face. Now what that's going to do is going to remove any cleanser, any makeup that I might have left behind, because even though I cleansed twice, look at that, it's still a bit grungy. So that's going to lift all that off, but its main job is to restore the pH balance of your skin. It's going to get back to the right level so that when you put your moisturiser and your serums on, it's going to be perfect. So my next step is going to be moisturising system, because this is my favourite product. I'm a lot older than some of you girls out there, and my skin is just not always plump as it should be, and I find this product is amazing. So your moisturising system has hyaluronic acid in it, and what it does, it draws moisture into the skin, and it draws it from the air and from your moisturiser. So you only need the tiniest little bit. So you just and the great thing about this product, I don't know if you've ever noticed if you use it, that's as much as the plunger will ever get up. So you can never get too much because it won't let you fill it up. So what I do with this, I just massage my hands and then just basically pat it onto your skin. And I do my neck. And I try to work upwards to beat gravity, not always working. But I found if I wake up in the morning and my skin is all a bit crinkled because I've been lying on my side and squished it all, I put this on, and within 5 minutes you can notice a difference. The lines have all plumped back up and it's like gone nice and smooth again. So you just let that absorb. A little tip, put it on the back of your hands, stops your hands going, is there any that's left over, stops your hands going all wrinkly. Have I ever shown you girls the pinch test? I didn't get much on there, so I can show you. So this is a little way to tell if your skin is dehydrated. So if you get a little bit of the skin near the knuckle, pull it up and hold it for about 10 seconds. Then when you let it go, you can see how slow or fast it goes down. Mine's really slow. that gives you a bit of an idea how dehydrated it is. So when you use this product, put a tiny little bit on, massage it in, and once it's all absorbed, you can do that pinch test again. I know I often say to girls, I don't want to pinch your face, so I do it on your hand so you can see. So if I was to pinch that again, can you see already how quickly it's going back down, whereas it wasn't even moving at all? That's what it's doing on your face. It's just, it plumps the skin up, and then it's going to keep absorbing the moisture, so your skin will just look amazing. The next step I'm going to do is my eye serum. So I've got the Platinum Lip and Eye Serum. So if you were showing someone else, I would put it on your fingertips, but because it's mine, I can just use a little bit and just put this around. You can also use this around the lips, so that's going to help with any little fine lines, especially if someone is a smoker. You'll often see get those lines around their eyes, and you just want to pat it gently till it absorbs. You don't need very much. Then now, there's no right or wrong way about putting your moisturiser or your eye cream on first. I put the eye cream on first, and the reason I do that is, as I said to you before, the skin cells around your eyes are very fine, and your normal moisturiser won't absorb. And when you put your moisturiser on, you are meant to avoid the eye area. But what I find is that doesn't always happen when you tell somebody that. But I find it makes more sense to put the eye cream on first, because that's going to absorb into those little tiny skin cells, then put the moisturiser on. But there's no right or wrong. Again, you need a tiny little bit. The size of a grain of rice will do both eyes. That's all you need. I use a ring finger, pat them together, and then just gently pat where the bone underneath your eye is. That's as close as you need to go. So you just want to pat it on gently so you don't stretch the skin. And you're done. And then we're going to finish with some night cream. So I'm using the Restore Night Cream. Of course, you don't want to use a moisturiser at night that has SPF in it, because the SPF stops your skin from repairing if you use it at night time. So again, a little green pea is all we need. And then you just want to massage it in the skin, working from the up. Massage under the neck and the chin until it's all absorbed. And that's your skincare done. So it doesn't have to take a really long time. And if you were having a shower, the cleanser could be done in the shower. So that's one step already done while you're in there. So that's your basic skincare. Easy peasy. And I know you girls will know all that, but I just thought it might help you. You know, if you do have someone who has a look at the brochure and they go, oh my goodness, especially this month when there's all the skincare sets in there with the new bamboo face mask, they might say, oh, which one do you think is me? So hopefully that's helped you just a little bit to work out what is the right skincare. And next week, as I said, we'll do a little bit more about different treatments on how to help someone who might have some skin conditions. So whether it's sensitive or blemishes or lines, wrinkles. So we'll go through some of the treatment products that we have and how to deal with those. And hopefully that'll help you if someone has a little bit more, a few more issues that they need help with. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've got a little bit out of tonight, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So if you have any questions, like always, just put a comment or give me a call and we can chat about it. If there's any of the skincare ranges that you want to try that you don't already have, you're always welcome to come visit me. Now we're allowed to have visitors. You can have a facial, or I've actually bought little sample packets that I can fill with different skincare and that. So even if you've got someone who would love to try a range that you may not have, let me know and I can pop a little set of samples together for you. They're little foil bags that I heat seal just with the iron, and I label them all, so I can do a whole facial set and pop it in the mail to you, and you could use that to show someone else, or they could try it out for themselves. So if you want to do that, just let me know and I can organize that for you. So thank you again, and make sure you make in the comments that you are here to visit me and join in, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great night. Bye for now.